All right. Let's see. All right. So Metaphysical Monday number two. All right. Or three. I don't know. How many is this? Nobody's in yet. That's okay though, because it can be on replay later. That's cool. Which is good anyway, because quite frankly, I do not have a guest lined up tonight, and so I wanted to just go over basics. So tonight, basically discussing the simple things to start off with, like of meditation. We're going to talk about kundalini energy, chi, that sort of thing. Um, a little bit about third eye, but probably not what you're expecting. Okay, because I have a little bit of different kinds of things, views on that. But that's just mine, and that's the whole point of this. Hopefully, if somebody comes in, I know it's a Monday, whatever, it's kind of late. But if anybody comes in, then we will. Go and talk about that, and hopefully you guys have some things to add to. Hey, Gloria, hi, how you doing? Basically, I guess we're just kind of going to dive into it. Don't worry too much. Hey, Angela, hey, or oh, Angelo, I'm sorry, it's Angelo. I have an Angela too, and I just looked real quick. Hey, little P, right on. All right. Hey, Sabs. So hi everybody, cool. So just real quick, I'll just go through the little Rickamorando again. We're just doing basics tonight, so we're talking about like meditation, kundalini, that kind of thing. So all right, thanks, Angelo. All right. Let's see. So I've written some notes down and things. I think the best place to start is like just talking about like kundalini energy and that sort of thing. It's not like there's not 50 million videos on YouTube, talking about such things or and there's good ones. There's a lot of good ones. I've ran across quite a few. And there's a lot of chakra videos and things like that. But, just in case you're curious, you haven't really all right, there's Angela. Or no, that's a different Angela. Okay. But hi, hey. So we'll kind of go through that, and then, like I said, talk a little bit about the third eye and stuff. So don't worry, if anybody drops out or whatever, that's no problem. You guys can rewatch this later or something. It's fine, because I don't have a guest lined up tonight. All right, but I do have a bunch of notes. We'll kind of talk about things, and if you guys have things to add, I highly, highly encourage you to add your experiences or your takes or your opinions, whatever, anything, in the chat. So we're going to start with kundalini energy. So, I mean, again, this is basic. Hey, chaos, right on. Okay, can anybody hear me? Type yes if you can. Okay, all right. So I had a weird buffering moment there. I don't know if that's going to keep continuing. We did just I don't know. No, we're not in Mercury retrograde yet. I think we're on our way though. So hopefully it won't get too crazy. All right, let me move this back a little bit. All right. So, okay. So, again, basics. All right. So kundalini energy and like, what is it? And, that kind of thing. Right. But I mean, we'll give a little bit more than basic too, but, I just wanted to kind of start with those. So basically, what I've written here is like realize that like kundalini energy. First of all, it's like it's deeper yet simpler, okay, than this. Okay, like what I'm going to explain. I know that sounds weird, deeper yet simpler, but it kind of is. All right. But basically, we like to label things. So the best way I could label kundalini energy would be sort of like it's like your life force energy meeting your sexual energy. Okay. So, and we probably, most of us know a little bit. Oh, can we get rid of the weirdo? Is chaos in here? Yeah. Report. Okay. Sorry, I had to report the dude. Or chick, who knows? Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, don't get on chaos. It's not chaos's fault. I mean, most of my moderators are fairly new, so it's cool. No biggie. But yeah, they might not even know how to do that. Just in case you don't know how to do it, chaos. There's little dots, 3 dots at the end of like their sentence, and you can click on that. Don't just be very careful. Like don't block a bunch of people if it's just like something you don't like. But if it's something like that, yeah, block, out of here, gone. All right. And be careful too, also moderators, about reporting them as like pornography and things like that, or something, because that then they start looking at my channel a little suspect too. So I just prefer to block them. Okay. So all right. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. So it's basically life force energy meeting sexual energy and that sort of thing. So basically, when we talk about kundalini, most of you guys are familiar, the snakes and the staff and that kind of deal, right? And most of you probably know that it has something to do with chakras. So again, I'm going very basic with this. If this is too basic, then let me know and I can like step it up a little bit. But so we want to look at. I'm going to show you like kind of how the chakras, go and that sort of thing. But just think of it this way, because a lot of people have a hard time like understanding like what the energy is. But just one of the simplest things I heard one time, and it made sense to me, is we don't always, we don't see the air that we breathe, but it's there, it's there. So it's like once you can kind of a lot of like metaphysics and things, does require a lot of archetype use, symbolism, things like that, but also just like a somewhat of a belief, of this. So that helps, we don't know, we breathe in air, that sort of thing, right? But we can't really see it, well, unless it's like super damn cold, right? All right. So basically, what we're dealing with is the sexual life force energy. Everything is pretty much in this like way, male female oriented. Okay, so it's like even the word like what is your sex? Okay, and I'm not talking about the act of it. Is are you a male? Are you a female? And yes, we can get into a broad variations of that, but I'm just kind of keeping it simple for the sake of this. Wow, we still have one of those on there. Sorry, hold on. Let me get rid of this too. Oh my gosh, this is getting off to a rough start, isn't it? Hang on. I don't know why people have to like do stupid things. It's just lame. Okay. All right. Okay. There was one more left. I had to get that. All right. So, okay. So we'll talk about chakras. We're just going to run them down really simply. I don't think oh, maybe I do have all the colors. Isn't that cool? Because the chakra colors are actually, don't get locked into certain things. That's what I want to preface this to. All right. So all this stuff, like I'm going to say, it's like, okay, it's just like this information is available out there. But the important thing to do always is, think for yourself. The whole point of starting with these basics and learning these things is, sure, give us a little structure and things like that, but don't get locked into things. All right, because I'm gonna show you, the Muladhara chakra is red, and I'm not gonna draw out the mandalas and things like that, but it's like it doesn't have to be, okay? It's just these are archetypal type symbols that we use. And who knows? I mean, maybe that was changed somewhere down the road and throwing us off. So definitely like use your own instincts. If you feel like the root chakra is purple, go with purple. You know what I'm saying? So, but just choose something because that helps us to focus and all that kind of stuff. So tarot with a Siestiana Star. Ooh, that's a cool name. I'll have to check out your channel. Right on. Hey, Martin. You got some non-toothache. Uh-oh. All right. Capricorn season. Okay. Let's see. All right, so let's just start with chakra naming and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so first chakra is the root chakra. So it is the base chakra. So it's kind of a lot of times like you're kind of like wondering, well, what does that mean? Is that like, so it's the bottom of the tailbone. So I don't know, it's kind of like the bottom of the tailbone, like where your spine like kind of ends. All right. So that's kind of the area you want to imagine this. Okay. So we've got red. Can we see that? Yeah. Okay. So we got red. So this is the first chakra, okay, and it is, and I'm probably going to butcher the names, but it's like Muladhara, I think, is the Sanskrit or Hinduism or Buddhist way. I don't know, quite frankly. I don't remember. It's Hindu, but okay. So tailbone. So and it is the earth element. Okay. So earth. Am I writing the right way for you guys? Oh no, I'm writing backwards. Ooh, I don't know how to do that. I didn't practice that. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can do that. Earth. Did that work? Okay, yeah, Earth. All right, I'm writing backwards, so it's a little weird. And the like sound for that, like if you want to like pronounce like the I guess it would be a mantra in a sense. So the sound would be lum, okay, like lum, L-U-M. So L-U-M. Okay. So and I'll show you what you do with these in a minute. All right. So earth element. Okay. So second one is orange, or again, like don't get hung up on things, whatever. And it is Svadhisthana. I don't know. I'm sure I'm butchering that name. And it is the water element, and it's at the like sacrum level. And let's put that one water. Okay. So then we got water, orange. Wow. Isn't that great? I know, it's horrible. Okay, so orange is and it's vum with a V, like vum. Okay. All right, vum. I wrote the other one backwards. All right, vum. I'll practice on the board. Okay, so next one, third is yellow. It is the fire element. Okay, fire, fire. All right, and it is rum. All right, so fire. What do we got? Yellow. I don't have yellow, so we'll use orange. Okay. All right. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I freaking need this thing. You guys can take notes, right? It's like, because it's not working out that good anyway. All right, so the third one is yellow, and it is Manipura chakra, and it is rum is the sound, okay? So the next one, fourth chakra, green, anahata. All right, fourth chakra, heart area, chest area, really, okay? So chest area, and it is air element, you know, lungs, air, all that kind of good thing. And it is, the sound for that is yum. Yum. All right. Let's see. Now, here's a cool thing. So now we've done first, second, third, and fourth chakra, right? We've done the earth element, first chakra. We've done the water element, second chakra. We've done the third element, or third chakra, fire. We've done the fourth, air. So that's, if you're like a little bit familiar with tarot, because you know, you're on my channel, it's like, that's the four tools of the magician. Okay. So it's like, those are the ones that you are working with ultimately. Okay. In this world or area or whatever you want to call it. So let's see. So we're moving on up. Okay, moving on up. Yes, we are. Let's see, to the east side. Oh, that's cool in so many ways. All right. All right. So now we're at the fifth. Okay. So the throat chakra area. Okay. Blue is the color for that. It is kind of, usually considered like space. As far as an element, you know, if there, you know, if it were assigned something, it would be space. Okay. It's also the sound that is for the throat chakra is hum. So like HUM, like you're humming a song, right? So it's hum. And that one, this one's very interesting. So we're going to talk about the last couple chakras in a minute. We're going to kind of put this all together. So sixth chakra, forehead area. All right, depending where you want to be around in that area. On it's ANJA is the spelling of that chakra. It's, I believe it's the J is like a ya sound, so I believe it's Anya. The color is indigo. All right, so it's like a deeper, deeper blue. So we have blue in the throat chakra area, and we have like this deeper indigo type color in the what's known as commonly known as the third eye area, which we'll talk about that a little bit. And it's a lot of times associated with light. Okay, so think of Jesus, right? It's like, hi Jesus. You know, it's like, you know, let thine eye be single and the whole body be filled with light. So, you know, and sometimes you'll even see like, you know, pictures of Jesus with like light coming out of the head or something like that. Usually it's the heart, but it's there's a connection there too. But again, we're sticking with the basics. Okay. So, let's see. So the word Anya actually means depending. I mean, I've seen a couple different things, but either one really kind of works. It means like to command or to perceive. So it probably means both, to perceive and to command. All right. So that's really interesting because that's where you're going. A lot of people are going. If you're into this kind of thing, you're going to do a lot of work in that area. Not all of it, because there's way more to it than that. Then we have the last one. We have the seventh chakra. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I mean, let's be honest. Okay, it's the thousand petaled effing lotus, man, and it's like, it's like most of us, it's like sahasrara. Is that it? Yeah, but we're talking samadhi states at this point, and we're doing basics. So there's really not a need to go into this like crown chakra area. We can absolutely do that at another time. All right. So basically, you're working with the four. Those are pretty much like your magician's tools. All right. The other chakras, these from up in here, are more like where it all kind of comes together. So here's where we get back to the male and female of energy, okay? Because it's like in order for anything like true to be born, okay? It's like it's like the Shiva and the Shakti, the male and the female need to connect. Okay. So there's a certain point, and I don't know, the technicalities of this stuff because I don't get hung up on that crap. So I don't really, know exactly. I think they meet like, somewhere around in here, probably the crown, I don't know, whatever it is, but you'll see the drawings, along the staff and that kind of deal. But I do know the importance of the male and female energy because, this is ties into so much. I mean, it's going to tie into your creative force of, well, I don't know which way you're looking at me in the camera, but of the left side, or I mean, I'm sorry, the male energy of the left side and the female energy of the right side. So it's like, males, and again, I'm not talking about like people. Okay, I'm talking about energy. So males are the giver and females are the receiver. That's why, like, if you've ever heard of like a Shiva lingam or something like that, it's like it's a staff and it's like a circle. The circle is soft. It's the feminine receiving principle, and the staff is the male. Okay, so like a good example of this is like walk into any freaking like Target, okay, like the store Target, you'll see Shiva lingam like everywhere. It's like it's in their parking lot right before you go inside the doors. You'll look at it and you're like, what the hell is that? It's like these weird like phallic looking things like right before the doors when you go in. Next time you're at Target, you'll see what I'm talking about, and it's either a combination of both the staff and the circles, or it's just the circles. Some stores I've seen it's just the circles. Other stores I've seen it's just the staffs. Sometimes it's a combination of both, but you'll start seeing this everywhere because people know, like, they know this stuff. This is like the principle of like a lot of creation and things like that. So they're putting that into us as we're walking through the doors. But anyway, I don't want to get off on tangents, do I? Okay. So all right. So space element, throat, hum is the sound. So what did I want to say about that? Because it's like it's purity. So basically, like I said, so if you want to meditate with these things, all right, and like what is the purpose of it and all of that, okay, is I'm sorry, I should be looking at the comments and see before I get into this. Did you guys want stuff? Don't write backwards, write normal. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, I'm reading your post now. I'm sorry. Let's see. Normal Molly, you're kidding, right? Okay. I love you. Oh, thank you. Hi, Miss M. Ask dream guides to be more defining for you. Great, and say hello to your dream guides as you go to bed. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Okay. I mean, not that, sorry, Martin. I'm a big fan. I mean, guides and stuff like that. It's an interesting topic. But, and I'm certainly not against them. But I don't want to get thrown off. All right. So anyway, all right. So where was I? So meditating. So you can start meditating on these things, and this is going to help you. So what you want to do is you want to think in terms of symbols because that's where our brain works. And unfortunately, I mean, you don't want to. I should say, But again, I'm keeping this basic. So a lot of these things I say, this isn't. like the absolute way you should do it. I want to make that very clear because the things I'm giving you now, like I don't really do any, and not because I'm so advanced. I don't mean it like that. It's just that I kind of just have my own things that I work out and stuff. But I would not have been able to get to that point had I not started off with some sort of structure and some sort of like meditation guides and things like that. So it's like, so the archetypal symbols, it's good. Just look it up on Google. Look up the chakras. You'll see them. There's little mandalas that are available. You can look at those. I steer away from the videos that like play the music and show all that kind of stuff because I don't know what they're telling people. But anyway, so you can imagine what you want to imagine is sort of kind of like a flame, or like a fire, and start at the very bottom at the tailbone, like I told you, before. Then move that up to like more like not necessarily like genital area, like a little bit above that kind of thing, like around in that area. You want to like start at the tailbone, kind of feel, like imagine like hot, heat or like a fire, and concentrate on like red, that kind of thing. And then when you kind of feel that and you're kind of sitting with that, then you want to move to the next one, which is the orange. And then you want to move to the next one, the yellow, which is kind of behind the navel area. Okay. And then keep moving that up, to the green, to the blue, and so forth. Okay. But you want to try to feel this kind of heat. Now, the other thing to do while doing this, that is super key is breathing. Okay. So you definitely, absolutely, I would suggest for those of you who are interested in this kind of thing to look up the word pranayama. Okay, and learn a little bit about breathing techniques. Nothing too crazy, like, if you're just starting, you just want to kind of just learn some basic like hatha yoga type pranayama type breathing. Basically, just breathing in through the nose, letting the stomach expand. So you want to bring your breath, pretty much, down as far as you can. And then when you're releasing it, you should feel your stomach go in. And then you kind of want to imagine pushing that that out breath. You want to kind of like, because it's down here, and when you start exhaling, you kind of want to imagine it kind of coming up and out. Okay, so that's a good place to start. So like working with these tools, all right, what is the purpose, right? Okay, so the purpose is, it's like, it's going to give you, like, if you start meditating, and I have a very simple video here on YouTube about how to meditate. uh, I'll try to link it, when I'm done here, for if you're interested. But very simplistic way to do it. And if you do this for a while and work on techniques such as this, and like imagining the chakras and all of these different things, then eventually what's going to happen is like things are just going to start coming to you. Okay. So, and that's something that I would like to talk about a little bit too, because it's like sometimes you can start meditating. I've heard of that, and actually I had like a weird experience. Like it wasn't the first time I meditated, but it was pretty early on, and it was like, pretty cosmic and all that. I got all excited. So here's what happens with that a lot of times. So if you decide to meditate, and maybe you even try like some little techniques and things like this, like to kind of get into this. You might have, some of you may have like a very cosmic experience, okay? Others of you may not, and may not feel like anything cosmic or anything like that. That does not mean that you're doing anything right. If you're having like some amazing cosmic experience, and if you're not, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, okay? So people are different. So it just depends. So it's like, that's the thing that I want to kind of, and I will harp on probably a lot in these, is like, just because you have like a crazy cosmic experience or something like right away, or, even several or something, it's so dangerous to get caught in this like, oh my God, I'm so bitchin', I'm so cosmic. Oh, oh, you don't even know the things I know. I see so much freaking spiritual snobbery and like annoyingness. Like I can't even like tell you, man. It's like it happens. And I got to be honest. A couple times I probably was there too on my little journey. Not I don't know. I was always aware of it, so like I keep it in check. But it does happen. So just because you have some like amazing experience, that is beautiful, and it should be coveted, and all of those things. But it does not necessarily mean that it's like you've got this like super easy thing ahead of you, and that everything's going to be cosmic. Because here's the problem with that: if it stops being cosmic, then you get bored, and then you quit. And sometimes what happens is God or the universe or what have you will give you this amazing experience in the beginning to keep you interested. All right. So it's like, so be grateful for that and be thankful for it. But, a lot of times meditation and things like that, it's boring. All right. It's not always like, oh my God, oh, I'm traveling through space and, all kinds of, things coming at us or, or deities talking to us. It's not always that kind of thing. So it's like, and when it is, it's like, yeah, that's kick ass. But, so keep the whole point of this is discipline, 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 and meditation every day, man. It's the best way to go. But I'm sorry, I'm harping on that, aren't I? All right, so let's see. Let's see. What else did I want to mention here? So what do we got going on? Let's see. Always love your I thought you were saying always love yourself. Okay. Thank you, Allie. Fantastic. All right. Anybody got anything that they've added that I've missed that I should address? I'm sorry if I'm missing stuff. Oh, you like the couch? Yeah. Thanks. All right. Okay, so we'll talk about the third eye a little bit too. All right. Yeah. So third eye. So again, like not necessarily a diet. Okay. So that's a good thing to bring up. If you have things to add, absolutely add them in there. I'm one of those that like I'm not strict with a lot of those types of things. I know that it is good. It's good to eat like a high vibe diet, because that really does help speed things along for a lot of people. I don't. I just like eat well, I mean, I try to buy as organic as possible. And that's one thing I am kind of a little bit of a snob about is, I'm actively non-GMO as much as possible, or at least as much as I know. I mean, I look for anything that has a non-GMO label, and organic shopping. But as far as, like detoxing and diet and things like that, vegan, vegetarian, what have you. I mean, those are probably all very good things, if it suits you. What I've heard, because I don't know, for fact, but I have heard that sometimes diets like that can really, help you feel like lighter and like just more in touch with things. Your energy can be lighter and that sort of deal. And plus, it's morally a very good thing to do if you can go like vegetarian and that sort of deal. But I do not know much about it. So if you do, oh, can I talk about the additional chakras? Yeah, I forgot kind of that. Let's see. All right, so the other two, the weird ones, right? Okay, so, all right, so the throat chakra, ooh, that's interesting. All right. It's been a while since I've really like worked with these things. So it's like I feel a little like nervous talking about it, but it's like I know this shit inside and out. I really do. I mean I gobbled up every amount of information pre-internet, from reading books and meditating and studying and trying all this stuff. But it's been a while since I've done this type of work. So let's see. The things I could that I could mention about those. So there is definitely like a connection. Like most people are living in either one half or the other. All right. Very few people are, well, I don't know. I don't really know anybody who does, but, living in all at the same time. So a lot of people, and probably most people that like on here, most likely, or like spiritual type motivated people are pretty much living more in these types of chakras. Okay. The thing is too, like you shouldn't suppress, things that's one of the other things that there's so much disinformation and misleading things out there. It's like, oh, the root chakra, it's like everybody wants their crown chakra lit up or their third eye lit up. And oh no, I don't want to be, I'm trying to not be too sexual or not be too egotistical or, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, fuck, you do what you got to do. They're all tools. They're all there for a reason. So it's like, the thing is using them at the right times and using that wisdom at the right times. So throat chakra is a very interesting one. Like, you'll notice, like a lot of people who like, just like they don't stop talking. They have throat chakra imbalances. Okay. So like, I mean, if they just like, just talk and talk and talk just to hear themselves talk, then that's usually someone who has a throat chakra imbalance. Okay. I guess it could work the other way around too. If they're like super quiet, it might be that, but it might be some other ones too that are a little bit deeper. But the combination of using these are very interesting. So, all right. So we'll talk about the third eye thing. Okay. I'm hesitant because it's like I don't want to like disappoint people in a way, but it's like I have a real different take on like the third eye. But again, this is just my experience, and I'm really hoping that somebody else has had some others in here. There's a lot of like information out there that the third eye is like it's the pineal gland, it's this, it's that, and all these videos about opening up your third eye, which it could be pineal gland. I'm not against that. All right, that's a good theory. But it's like all these like videos about watch this and open your third eye, and all these like comments, and I'll see people, oh, my third eye opened, or and like all this kind of stuff, and it's like, no. Sorry. It's just mine hasn't. I'll tell you that straight out. If that's what it is, I don't think that's what it is. And I think I opened it, but I don't think that's what it was. So it's like, I do believe that there is something that visually, that can be, because I just remember from the Yogananda books about how he received like a darshan from his, what do you call him? The superior yogi. God, I can't think of the word, master. And he was able to see, like visualize, he was able to see the world in a whole different way. So I do believe there is a way to do that. I have no experience with that whatsoever. I mean, I've seen things, like I've seen visions, if you want to call it that, and that kind of deal. But I don't, my third eye isn't open. It's like if my third eye was open, I wouldn't be freaking here on YouTube, and I certainly wouldn't be watching these videos on third eye and going, yeah, my third eye is open. It's like that. I mean, it's like a pretty like amazing feat. Okay, if you're walking around with your third eye open all the time. All right. So I mean, chances are you're on your way out pretty soon. That's pretty good. But I don't want to discourage you either or take the magic away, because there is something to this. Absolutely. I mean, it's your it's your projector basically. So, but it's a little complicated. And now we got to talk about the medulla oblongata, and there's 2 points of like spiritual kind of entry as far as I can tell, and that is one from the top of the head and one from the back of the head, the medulla oblongata. I think that's how you pronounce it. So those two are, I think this is even referred to as like the mouth of God, and it's like that kind of space underneath your skull where your neck meets, okay, in that area there. That area is a very good area to concentrate on once you get a little bit of meditation under your belt. All right. That will give you some experiences for sure. And then beyond that, I don't know. I had a weird experience like not long ago where it's like I almost wonder, sort of, because they keep talking about the third eye, the third eye, the third eye, and they keep trying to drill it in our head that it's this eyeball, and then it's this, and it's these visions and things like that. And I'm almost wondering if it's like the third eye, like the Holy Trinity. So I know that sounds weird, like the letter I, instead of like an I. Okay. Because I don't know, I had a weird experience, and I was like doing my little meditation thing and all that. And it's like the in the center, there was a different like presence, okay? Because I separated myself from this screen that I'm seeing right here, and I separated myself from this screen that's in here, and I felt like a different presence, but it was me. So it wasn't like a guide. Okay. So it's like, so I almost wonder if like the third eye is I, like the higher self. But that's just kind of like a crazy thing. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, there is something absolutely to the visions, the projections, the imagery, and all of those things. But it's like the goal should not be to be striving to open our third eye. Our goal, well, I mean, all in a sense, I mean, yes, because of the Jesus thing, that's pretty cool. The whole body be filled with light. Sure. But right now, the goal is to just sort of meditate, and then like the things will happen at different stages. So it's like, and if that happens experience for you, that's fantastic. And, I can attest to, I don't, talk too much about things because I don't know. I kind of like to keep those things, to myself. But I can say that through meditation, and through different like breath type of work, and sometimes that type of breath work will come to you spontaneously, like you won't even know what you're doing. You just be kind of like guided to do certain things. Um, then it's like I've had some pretty like crazy experience, crazy good, beautiful, quite frankly, experiences. So there is absolutely something to this. Okay. Absolutely. Sometimes when third eye opens, you can see auras and energy light fields. Sure. Yeah, that's probably true. Because the one thing that I always remember is this, and this is kind of a weird thing because I'm not like a huge proponent of drugs. I'm just not. I'm not anti them, but I'm not. I don't use them. So it's like if you want to, cool. Whatever. But when I was younger, I dropped a tab of acid. First time ever. That kind of thing. Oh my God, it never ended. It was like forever. I just wanted to go. Like Vikings were fighting in my head and shit. Oh my God, it was awful. But the one thing I remember, and I was very young. I was like, I don't know, 18 or something like that. And my friend and I, we had gone outside, and he was smart enough to have left the lights on in the house because he had heard that's a good idea, so that when you come back, it's not all dark and scary. So when we came back in, it's like that house had never looked so alive. I mean, it just everything had a glowing aura. It was, not like trails or something, I'm not talking about that, but it was just glowing and like vibrating and alive. So I always remembered, like at that time, I didn't know anything about any of this stuff that we're talking about tonight, but I've always remembered that experience. And what I always would tell myself is that it's like that happened. Like I saw that. So yes, it might have been drugs or what have you, but it doesn't matter. I saw it. So I would imagine that it's something like that along those lines. And some people may see that those things. I do, and not may. I think some people do see those things easier than others. Maybe it's just my lot in life, not to, have those types of experiences, right? Other than like on drugs or something like that, which I'm not, I ain't that desperate for those experiences. But I do think some people do naturally see a lot of like energy fields and lights, and that's why we have like a lot of like a Reiki practitioners and things, and they'll go along your body and they can like I'm good with feeling things, but I like seeing things I don't see. But some people can see. They can see where your aura is out of balance or something like that. So I mean, it just depends, on different people. And auras, absolutely. And anybody, like I've said before on one of the other shows, it's like if you try hard enough, you can see your own aura. And I gave you guys this trick before, I think in the last one. I don't know. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's real quick though. You just go to a mirror, put on something white, something that's not too colorful. Go to a mirror, like in the bathroom or something like that, a good one over the sink. And you just want to kind of put your eyes like about like this high above this area of your shoulder, and you don't want to like cross your eyes or something like that, but you just kind of want to like phase out your eyes so that you're not like concentrating. Just kind of like let them kind of rest in this area, and you can see like your aura, and you can do that with others. You can train yourself to see those things. So that's pretty interesting too. It happens to you when you use your pendulum. I can see white light around it to let me know if the right energy distance. Yeah. A lot of people use pendulums, and that's pretty cool too. There's a lot of tools and things that are like super helpful with those types of deals. I've never had one, but I think there is a kind of a neat idea. I remember this lady at the health food store I used to work at used to use it to pick out her food, and I always thought that was pretty cool. It's like she'd like run it across the apples and then like pick the ones. And I always thought, that's kind of a good idea. The third eye refers to the gate that leads to inner realms and space of higher consciousness. The third eye is spiritually. The third eye is a spirituality symbolizes. Often when it's open, you have often headache. Okay, let's see. So the third eye refers to the gate that leads. Okay, so when we're talking about the gate, and that's possible. That again, that absolutely, sure. That definitely could be. There's definitely a bridge, like kind of thing going on inside, and everything's a gate. Absolutely. The third eye is important, and it's just something that it's like I don't. have too much to tell you about, really, because I just, it's not something I've ever strived to like open. In that way, I kind of strive to just go where where I feel comfortable being led in a way. So, but yeah, absolutely, it is a gate. Yes, absolutely, it is a gate. So very cool. Let's see what else we got. Anybody else had anything to add? Let's see. What else did you say on that? The third eye is a spiritual symbol. Okay, symbol. The spiritual symbol, exactly. It's an like a symbol, and like you'll see it on like the deities and things, and so it kind of it's a symbol for like what it is exactly. So that's absolutely. Often when it's open, you have a headache. Possibly. That I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, but that sucks. That doesn't sound fun. Okay, I don't want a headache. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Although sometimes I do get a headache if when I'm meditating, and it's like because I close my eyes and I do focus my attention at the brow. I will say that when I meditate. So some people do the tip of the nose and things like that, but I do like focus on this area. And I do notice like sometimes I will feel like a slight headache, but I think it's because it's not because like I wish it's not my third eye. It's more that sometimes I'm just straining because I kind of like look up. With my eyes, and I try not to strain because it should be a more relaxed thing. And the more I meditate, the easier it is. And then, like, I don't have that issue. But if I haven't meditated regularly and I go back into it and I do that, sometimes I feel like a little bit on the temples, like a little bit of a headache, and that kind of sucks. But that's just me. All right, so let's see, where are we? Okay, so also too, I want to recommend a book. If you guys are like interested in this sort of thing, or if you have had like weird ass Kundalini experiences, which we should talk about that for a minute too. There's a great book that's not like super like well known out there. Maybe it is. I don't know by now. I read it quite a few years ago, but it's called The Chasm of Fire. So CHASM. The Chasm of Fire, and I believe, if I remember right, the lady's name it's either Irene or Irina Tweedy. I think that's the name. And I think Tweedy is IE. So it's like tweed, like a tweed jacket, IE. The Chasm of Fire. It's a really interesting story. She was like this British woman that was like, I don't know, it's like in her 60s, and her husband died. She wanted to go on an adventure and find herself, kind of thing. She goes to India, finds a guru. She ends up like with a tantric guru. So I mean, it's like some like freaking hellacious stories, man. It's pretty amazing book, quite frankly, but pretty inspiring too. And that's something like if you guys are interested, like we can talk about all those types of things too, like tantric stuff, which it's not like all new agers sitting around in a room like, oh, it's so beautiful, I feel you're in it. Yeah, that ain't what that's about. So well, we can talk about those types of things too if you want. But anyway, okay, so let's see, we'll wrap it up I guess a little bit. Couple things I did want to just touch on again with like the meditation thing too is obviously, and you guys probably are know this kind of stuff already, but just so it's not like a religion, so it's like if you're like a little bit on the fence with it or something like that, I mean, meditation is just a tool. It's a natural born tool that we are all born with that we can do. It has nothing to do with religion. It's not like, ooh, is that bad? Jesus meditated. I guarantee you, and it's like it's not like I knew Jesus, okay, but people don't get like that unless they meditate. I mean, that's the thing. It's like he was a Christ. He was Christ consciousness. And that's yeah, because people always say, oh, Jesus Christ, and it's like that's not his name. He's Jesus, the Christ, right? The Christ consciousness, Krishna, KRSNA, yeah, Christ. Krishna consciousness, they meditate, that's Buddha, that's how they get the information, that you get. So I just wanted to list to like really quick is like the biggest benefits and like why do you meditate? And it's like so many people say, oh, I can't meditate, I tried, my thoughts are too busy, I can't stay still and all that. Here's one thing that I did want to bring up. So here's the thing, if you're like the least bit like spiritual in the sense of like maybe you believe in God, and maybe you believe like in source, maybe you believe in mother, cosmic mother, whatever it is like that you have that you believe in. It's like as far as like our creator and things like that, I mean, think of the amount of time that they put in, the creator puts into us. And, we're running around here with our lives. We're going to work. We're doing this. We're watching TV. We're cooking dinner. We're taking care of kids. We're doing this. Blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, but you can't tell me that you can't spend 15 minutes out of your day, to give back to source. So it's like, look at it that way. And it's like, I mean, think how many times, we've prayed, to God to help us with something, or source, whatever you want. I just say God, because that's just, so I'm not any particular religion or anything like that, but it's like, I do believe, in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Buddha, Krishna, all those, so it's like, it's like, we pray, like when we really need it, we pray and we do all these things, and, God gives us that time, listens to us, all those kinds of things, gives us these things, takes care of us, all this we can give. That's what, like, real tithing is, the give 10%. I don't think God wants us to, like, throw in $10. God wants us to throw in 10% of our energy to, connecting with source, and spending some time in that way. So it's like, meditation is the best way to do that, because it's spending time with God or with source or what have you. Okay. So everybody can meditate. Sure. You're going to hear a lot of thoughts. You're going to hear a lot of noises. You're going to hear all that. But if you keep doing it every single day, just it takes 40 days, 40 days, you've established a habit. Okay. So just make a commitment to yourself for 40 days. You're going to meditate for 15 minutes a day. And I guarantee you the benefits. It's like, it's not something like, sometimes you will notice right away, but it's one of those things that it's like, you're going to look back on, and you're going to be like, thank God I did that for myself. It truly is. And it's like, the health benefits alone. I mean, when I meditate on a regular basis, I don't get sick. I don't. It's like, it just does, like, everybody else is coughing and hacking all around me. Mm-mm. When it's like, it's good for blood, lowering blood pressure, all those things. There's 50 million health benefits to meditation, right? I mean, they're even telling people to do that at, like, Kaiser, right? So, I mean, obviously the health benefits are good, but it actually makes you smarter. And no, that's not some crazy claim. It does. It makes you more, it actually increases gray matter, but it makes you more intelligent, but mostly it makes you more wise. Okay, it helps define your discernment, and make better decisions, thus bringing better relationships, better confidence, all those things. So it really is the single most important tool that we can use as human beings, to make improvements for, ourselves, and it's a really healthy thing to do. So I'm sorry, I really sound like a broken record. Anyway, what else we got going on? You meditate every day, Diana? All right, fantastic. You're drawn to certain places. Ooh, that's cool. Right on. Let's see. Giving back. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Cool. All right. Infusion of gratitude in cooking and planting too. Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah, absolutely. Who is that? Mythiquo, I hope I'm saying your name right, just brought up a very good point about, like, infusing gratitude in when you're just doing everyday tasks, and especially food. Okay, she mentions cooking here, and planting also, if you plant things. Absolutely, very good. Cooking is very good. I once, when I used to have my metaphysical bookstore in Los Angeles, I had this puja, which is like it's sort of like an interesting kind of ceremony. This really nice Hindu fellow, what was his name? Sri Shiva came over and did like a Ganesha puja, or was it Lakshmi? It was a Lakshmi puja. It's this really neat. So he made this like mandala on the floor out of all these little powders and things just for the thing. It was beautiful. But at the end, they have what they call prasad, which is like a gift, right, of this like food and so forth. And they had made this fruit salad for everyone, and they put it in these little cups, and it was chopped up so teeny tiny, and it had cardamom in it, which I love. It's such a weird thing that doesn't sound good in fruit salad, but oh my gosh, it just like topped it off. But there was something about like this particular fruit salad that I was just over the top about. And I asked them about it, and he's like, well, we chant over it, and we make it with love, and we, all these things. And so I decided to try it, and I went home. This is like probably next week or something like that. And I was chanting my little Hare Krishna chant while chopping up the fruit salad, and like feeling this love and this appreciation for the fruit and all that deal. And I tell you, it was the best fruit salad ever, and I had taken it to a party, and everybody raved about the fruit salad. So, it's like, you can that's such a good point. It's like and especially if you have, like, a family at home or, like, little ones or things like that, it's like, don't just throw that meal together and stick it in the microwave, put a little something into it, that of pure, joy. I used to even, like, kind of like while I was prepping, like make up my own little songs, my own little joyful like kind of songs like to God or what have you, and throw in like my son's name and things like that. So absolutely, you should do that. Let's see. All right, Emma. Thanks for joining. Gardening, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you garden, I don't, so but yeah, absolutely. If you garden, plant those the seeds and things with beautiful intentions and flourishing love and all that beautiful. Anything creative, exactly, Stacy. Yeah, your art, anything. You do. I mean, that's great to like remember, to wake up and remember those things. It's really difficult because most of us are on autopilot. I ain't excusing myself out of that. I wish I were a lot more awake a lot of times, but hell, but when we do, when we remember it, yes, absolutely. Marge, meditated each day for approximately 2 years. Fantastic. Yeah, it's so beneficial. Let's see. Have I ever steel travel? Oh, astral traveled. I think that's what you're saying. I started to once and then I pulled back because quite frankly, I got a little scared and, I've never tried it since because I don't really know like what I'd want to do, quite frankly. It's like I don't know like where I would want to astral travel to, quite honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's possible, absolutely. And I started to. I could tell it was like, but I got scared and I pulled myself out of it. So that happens too sometimes, even in meditation. Sometimes you'll be meditating and you'll see these like things, people looking at you, I don't know, weird stuff, and it's like you get scared and you wake yourself up kind of out of your thing. That's fine. Just be a warrior always. But yeah, astral travel is probably cool. I just honestly, I don't really have a destination that I desire to go to really, I mean, in space or what have you. I don't have a big desire to talk with like, astral beings. And I'm not saying that's wrong or, that you shouldn't or anybody else shouldn't. I just personally don't, I don't have a big desire to do that. But yes, it is absolutely possible. Oh, because you see, yeah, I mean, seeing things is cool. I'm a little bit like I come from the old school kind of, because I started my journey basically with Paramahansa Yogananda. So I have like a pretty simple approach. That doesn't mean that like that's all I follow because I don't stick with just one thing. I like to be, and like that's why I say I love it for others. I mean, if astral travel is, I mean, it sounds bitchin', right? It's the coolest phrase ever. It just sounds cool. Astral travel. I say go for it. For me, it's like I like things that like are going to like do something for me. You know what I mean? It's like I guess that's why I've never really been into magic or things like that. It's like I don't like I like things about like more like just my soul evolving or whatever. I guess I don't know. That sounds like really pompous. I don't know how to put this right. Hold on. Like like magic and stuff like that doesn't interest me. It's like seeing like weird things doesn't like interest me. I like it in like TV or movies and things like that. I think it's bitchin', but it's like I just personally don't have like a desire to do that kind of stuff. I just kind of have a desire to just keep meditating and it's like I'm just sitting here doing time kind of thing, John Lennon, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's like I've probably got 50 million more lifetimes to go and I'm just gonna make the best of it kind of deal. That's kind of more where I'm at, but yeah, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna anybody else have anything that they want to add or their story or anything before we close out here? Letting go is hard. Good topic for Molly to cover in future. What letting go is hard. What is that about? Cherie. Jim there. I don't see Cherie's comment about letting go. What was that in reference to? Chaos. Let's see. Okay, country boy. I met what I believe is my spirit guide a number of years ago. Absolutely. I do, I do believe in spirit guides and I think they can be helpful. And, I wasn't shunning them earlier. I don't feel it's like a main target, but I mean, they're going to do their job no matter what, no matter how much I ignore them, it's like, they're going to do it, and yours, everybody's spirit guides, they're working for you, they're going to. And yeah, I mean, if contact your spirit guides if you want, absolutely, and they'll make themselves known, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I got a few things on that, but yeah, we'll save that. Oh, soulmate. Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Soulmates, I mean, soulmates will show up as you, and again, everything comes back to meditation. And I've got a pretty damn, like, again, I've got like a proven thing of that happened to me. I started meditating. It was the weirdest story. I made a video on it. I took it off because I kind of wasn't quite ready to put it out quite yet. But it's an amazing story of how I met my husband. He's no longer with me; he passed away, and things like that. But it was because I started meditating, and just everything unfolded from there. Everything just unfolds. It just does, and it's like you don't notice it at the time. Like you think you're just wasting your time sitting here meditating and all that, but then after a while, like you start kind of getting it, and you start kind of getting it, and you start kind of getting it. Then when you get, I'm gonna, I don't want to scare you guys off, but for me, it was more like a year into it where that's when like I realized, oh my God, what this has done for me. Like I knew it was good for me. That's why I continued doing it. But it wasn't until like a year or so when it hit me like a ton of bricks that uh, I was just like so grateful that I did this for myself, and the change in my life that it's just it's amazing. Okay, I'll just say that. Let's see. When you ignore your guides, that doesn't make them ignorant. No, of course not. Nope, they're smart and they know what they're doing, and they're here to help us. And I can be as ignorant as F, and they're still going to help me. And it's like I can, but it is good. I should try to connect with them a little bit more as for like gratitude and things like that. And it's something that I've looked into recently. I would say in the past like couple years, they've talked to me before, and I've been like, what's that? and all that. And yeah, but now I have no doubt like that they're like with me, and they're doing their job. I'm doing my job, and it feels like we work together. So I like that. Um, Okay, let's see. How do one connect with their spirit guide? Just ask, really. I mean, there's probably, I mean, for me, maybe Martin has some good, well, just be careful on the triple spiral thing. But okay, so like you can ask, like for your spirit guides to like give you signs, things like that. You can ask them to because there's different ways you're going to, people will connect with them. Some of them, it's like, what do they call it? Like clairaudient. Some of them will see things. Some of them will just have a feeling, so it depends on you and how you are. Chances are you've probably already been in contact with them. It's like maybe if you've ever just like out of the blue, like heard something, come into your brain or something like that, or saw, like a sign that was just so blatantly obvious, things like that. That's You've probably already connected with them. But if you want to connect further, I mean, my guess, because again, I don't have a lot of experience in this, maybe some of you do. I would just ask. I mean, like with anything, that's what I do when it comes to like spiritual type things. Is I just sit as still as possible. I calm myself, make sure my shoulders aren't like, because half the time I'm sitting like this, I'm always like tensed up. It's just my nature. I've always been like that. So it's like I got to constantly remember to kind of just relax, relax my shoulders, relax my jaw, all those good things, and then ask, with reverence, with deep sincerity, to connect with them. Ask them to show you a sign, like either by voice, by vision, by whatever you feel you could pick up on. No closed captioning? Uh-oh. Well, it'll probably be on the replay because it's live. That's probably why. So if there's enough views, then YouTube will put on the closed. That's what I read about. That's a bummer. They should, it would be nice if it was just automatic. But I did read about if there's no closed caption, what happens a lot of times, especially with the lives, is they'll do it later on the playback if there's enough views. If it doesn't get enough views, they might not do it. So, unfortunately. Okay, so anything else? We're good. Repeating numbers, yeah, exactly. Yeah, those come up quite a bit. That's a big topic. We talked about that. I think last one. I think that was, or maybe that was in the relationship one. I don't remember. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this a little short because I honestly I just feel like I wasn't super. I'm I do apologize. I don't think I feel like I was super prepared tonight. I got really busy because of Tyler's shout out, which was like so freaking awesome. That was like amazing. Really threw me off guard, and I mean, it just like, whew, kind of, I got a little bit of flurry of stuff going on there, so that was really cool. But besides that, it's like I just, I really like have been doing a lot lately, and I've been putting sleep on the wayside, so I'm pretty like tired, and then like I was dealing with a bunch of stuff today because of the Tyler thing, which was awesome. I'm super grateful. I mean, he's definitely, definitely one of my favorites. All right, thanks, country boy. Good night. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. The next one, I will have a guest, and it will be far more interesting than just me yakking on about my opinions, right? Okay, and that kind of deal. And if you guys are like into going things like a little bit deeper, because that's why this is a little bit different. And again, I don't want to come off sounding like an ass here or like pompous or like whatever. It's just it's been a long time since I've like kind of done this kind of thing. So if you're interested in like more like deeper stuff on like where this really goes, like if you guys really are interested in that, then I'd love to do videos on that. Like the more avant-garde aspects to like metaphysical things, is that like the chaos, but the not chaos, that's like kind of my specialty. And it's just been a while since I like just talked about like chakras and things. So I'm sorry if I came off sort of like all over the place. It's been a little bit. So normal, Molly. You're kidding, right? Oh yeah. Da Vinci wrote backwards. Oh, cool. Right on. Okay. All right, guys. So, thanks, and we'll see each other. So it's every other Monday, and then I got the relationship show too. So check that out, and that's where we just talk about relationships and all dynamics of that. That's every Thursday. So thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you guys soon. And thanks, Chaos. I appreciate you dropping in as well. 10 Scorpius. Hey. All right. Talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.